Right, hello, welcome back to Amy Junction. Today we are back on London New Street, as you can see again. And today we are going to be doing this end of the layout. So obviously the station and the main end's up there, as you've seen in previous videos. And this time we're going to be working from here onwards, up, doing all this area. But we are mainly going to be focusing on the park area we're going to have in this section here. It's going to be a big park with a lake, I think, in the middle. And this is quite exciting as we're going to a different gauge. We're going to be using 009, which is narrow gauge, so it kind of represents a miniature railway in 1/76 scale. So yeah, we've got all the stuff to do that. We've got all the stuff ready to go here, so I'm going to get on with that now, and let's crack on with today's video. Right, so if we look in greater detail then to see what we've got some nice birch trees, which are FP459 by Footpath. They're a really good company. All their details are on the back, seen now. They do really good static grass tufts. I really do like them. It's a shame they don't have a shop. They just are literally at shows in East Anglia. I think they venture out a little bit more, but considering they're based in Cromer, which is in Norfolk, it probably does stick to like East Anglia. So moving on, we've got a building that I actually got for Christmas, but I never actually found anywhere to put it. It is actually a farmhouse, but this is going to serve as a miniature railway goods shed or station. It'll probably be more of an engine shed. It's kind of the look that I wanted, and it's kind of the right height to fit narrow gauge stuff. Getting one of the rolling stock, it'd fit very nicely under there. Obviously an engine would too. So that's what we're using this for. It is actually I think a Dutch barn or something, or just a farm barn, but it's going to be that. We've got our normal earth blend scatter, and then our mixed light foliage. I don't know why I forgot what that was called. And then moving on, we've got some hydrangeas, which are really common and a real nice addition to add to your model railway. This was done again by Model Railway Scenery Suppliers, which are the company that links with them, as I believe, as they sell their stuff at the shows. So yep, that's what we've got from them. And they're by Tasma. We've had lots of them before. Moving on, we've got stuff from Layouts for You. We've got a few of them, just little park flower beds. Got a miniature railway sign that will have the station, a little hut, a narrow gauge water tower kit, buffers, some people to work on the track, some kayakers for the lake, and a variety of cones and all different bins and that. They might not all be used on this area, but I thought I'd include them as they probably will be used. We got this very nice crossing, which I might use on the narrow gauge railway. Cut it down, as you can do it to whatever you want, or I could use it somewhere else, but I did like that, and considering it was a good price, and that was from Model Railway Scenery Suppliers. We've got 2 pieces of rolling stock, which are good stuff, and that will hopefully give us a good mark off to start. And then moving along, we have all our track we need to do what I want to do. So that is everything then in further detail. So we're going to get on and start laying the track and clearing this space so we can do some good work. Right, so in terms of this scene, this area where I've just temporarily put the stuff, so probably about that wide, I'm going to leave blank for now, because obviously I need some form of a road or a path to come off this roundabout, and I might have a car park or something, not too big, as obviously the London parks don't normally have a car park, but obviously this layout is fictional, it's not set anywhere in London, so I could literally, that gives me my modeller's license to do whatever I like, but I'm not sure. I'm still wanting to keep it what would be kind of realistic for London, so I'm not too sure, but there will probably be a path or definitely an entrance coming off this roundabout, just to separate it coming from the city into a little bit more of a park area, open space, which will be here. And obviously we're going to have our lake in the middle, Loads of trees covering the back scene, and then the miniature railway going around in a little circuit with an engine shed spur going off or something. So yeah, that's our plan. So I'm going to get all this track unboxed and work out where I want my engine shed. So we've got straights, we've got curves, and obviously in total that does half a circuit. That's half a circuit, so we've got a full circuit and then straights to go in between and to fill the depot, as well as our point that will go off towards our engine shed. So I'm going to get unboxing all of them now, and get on to laying some 009 track. Right, so in case you didn't know, 009 is like a narrow gauge kind of miniature railway for 1/76 scale models. So obviously this layout's 00 gauge, which means it has 00 gauge track, which is 1/76 scale. So this is a miniature railway that fits in with the scale, so you get them figures sitting in little carriages. Obviously they're not passenger rolling stock. I'm yet to buy the engine and the passenger rolling stock for the 009, but you can get what I mean in terms of that. So yeah, it'll be quite a nice little addition, having a little miniature railway running around the layout. You don't see it a lot, especially incorporated in with 00 layouts, and the ones that I've seen in magazines such as Railway Modeler have been really good and really turned out well. So I'm going to see how it goes, and hopefully it looks very good going around the park, and I'm going to try and base it. The inspiration is kind of the Ruslip Lido Railway, which obviously goes near a lake. I'm not too sure where it is. It's like West London somewhere. It's not based on there again, but obviously it's kind of an inspiration. And obviously I work on loads of miniature railways. You've got your Barnard, you've got your North Weald District Miniature Railway, and obviously I work on the Epinonga Heritage Railway as well, so I thought it fits in with my other stuff I do, having a miniature railway on a model layout. Right, okay, so this is two little curves joint up. As you can see, the sleeper spacings for narrow gauge, which fits in with the 1/76 scale. And yeah, it looks very nice. It's just like 00, but much smaller. As you can see, you've got little fish plates, just focusing on that. So yeah, in terms of connecting the track for kind of the new modelers out there, you do it in the same way. You line up, let's focus that for you. You line up these little fish plates with each other, and going down here, literally push them together, which is hard doing when you're filming, but imagine that's together, and you just rub across to make sure they're lined up nicely, and you can check like that if they're nice and flat and they're not one's in, one's out, because there'll be a bump and you'll be feeling it with your finger. So yeah, it's the same way you do 00 track, just in a little scale. So I'm going to get on and start building this circuit. Right, okay, so we've done our narrow gauge circuit. It is a circle, but it's not an exact radius circle, as you can see. This bit comes in slightly off the circle. That's how I wanted it, because I'm going to obviously have the lake in the middle, and it'll just make it look all a little bit more natural and less man-made, and the railway would look a secondary thing to the lake, and it would have to fit through its surroundings. Plus I think it'll create a nice shot, having the train come round, come a little bit closer to the front, obviously have some trees and that, and then go back round on the circuit. Currently I've got my engine shed at the back. I'm not sure if I'll have that there, or I might have a station or the engine shed there. I'm not too sure, or I might have something else for this area. It's still a little bit undecided, so we'll see what I decide. I could maybe have a bridge for the narrow gauge railway to go over. I don't know. I'll have to see. So yeah, I'm quite happy with that in total. Right, okay, so we're just putting some of our trees out, which were by footpath. So we've got one there, which will create that nice shot I was talking about of our railway, the narrow gauge one coming round. Got one near the roundabout, and then we've got two left, and I will get some different various types of trees. as it is important. Someone did mention it at the show I went to a couple of weeks ago at Shenfield, the Mid-Essex show. Someone did say about how in Riverside I had different trees and what an effect it created and was much more realistic. And I don't really realise I do it, but I do, thinking about it. So yeah, I've got some more different colour trees to buy just to vary our scene a little bit. Right, okay, so we've got a startings in sight of putting some trees in. We've currently got 4, and I've also got some homemade ones to make, which I will do a video on very shortly. So yeah, that's how it's looking. It's looking very good. This is going to be our little ticket office, which will sit probably just about there. So people can come in and there'll be a platform. They pay at this little window and then walk across along on the platform. And the start to the narrow gauge railway. So we've started on that, put that all together. And obviously the lake's going to go in the middle, which will hopefully be next time we'll start that. We're probably going to have an Enterprise dealership here, as I've got some Enterprise vans. And obviously we've done the roundabout today, which looks very good. And we've got some more filling in, which will be in another separate video in the near future, as well as finishing off our big burger, which will be in McDonald's. So that'll probably be like this area. Maybe the Enterprise will be all in its own video, including turning that into a McDonald's and doing the paving and benches outside. So anyway, thank you for watching today's video. I hope to see you again soon here on London New Street on Amy Junction. And hopefully next time we can get some more progress on building our narrow gauge railway. So once again, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in my next video.